The first thing I want to deal with tonight is argue one of the toughest accusations levelled at you, and this is in connection to your being fined £5,000 back in 2009 in the miners' compensation scandal, that the law firm you were part of took money from payouts to miners that should not have happened. So in the interest of openness and transparency, there is no subject matter we won't cover tonight, and you have accepted that. And as such, I need to ask you, did you feed from the miners?
No, absolutely not, Damo. I presume you want to do this as a question and answer rather than me just giving a big long list of all of the lies that appear in the media. But that is the very first lie. I was never accused by the Solicitors Regulatory Authority of taking money from miners' compensation, profiting from miners' compensation, and nor did I ever do it.
No. Davy Hopper exonerated you himself over this, didn't he? What's the story behind that?
Well, listen, I will give a little bit of a story behind the miners, because I was never really tremendously involved in miners' compensation. I was very friendly through a trade union comrade with the Durham Miners Association and Davy Hall and a couple of his comrades, and in particular Jackie, who's still going, who's a wonderful man. And Davy Hopper contacted me and asked me at the very last minute, there was a limitations period approaching for these cases. They only had about a month to get over, and he had some housebound members who couldn't get out, couldn't get the solicitors. And he approached me to ask me if I would go and do house visits for these miners who were at the cusp of limitations, and I agreed to. But it was never anything of any major area for the law practice. It was only ever about 100 miners that we looked after. We looked after at the request of Davy Hopper. So whenever these lies first appeared in the press, which was all very well constructed in order to avoid any potential for defamation cases, which I'll come back to, Damo. But whenever these lies were first constructed in the right-wing media, it was raised at our Executive Council, and Davy Hopper very kindly wrote a letter to the Executive Council outlining how I came to look after miners, and obviously putting right the lie in respect of whether or not any of the miners' compensation had been taken by my practice at the time, which obviously it had not.